Here's why some people are linking the Iswaran CPIB investigation to the Formula 1 and why these people might be totally wrong. Here's everything you need to know about the Iswaran Pro so far. I'll simplify and summarize for you. Don't see if you don't understand my essence, you idiot. So, Transport Minister Iswaran, who is now Iswaran but cannot run is under probe by CPIB. In case you didn't know, just a week before that, a minister who was under probe by CPIB for the Regara saga actually said this.
I assume the vast majority of you here have never had the privilege of interrogation by CPIB.
Now, Vivian is having food with his Vietnam counterpart, while Iswaran might have his Neopets account checked through. So, you might think that you know a lot about the Iswaran saga, but here's the thing. Actually, many things are speculation. You see, the only facts that I review are this. In May, CPIB was investigating something, and the details are unrevealed. So, they are and then suddenly, people in CPIB got shocked. I think so, because it involved a minister. And in 5th July, they told PM Lee that they need to interview Minister Iswaran. You see, the CPIB isn't an agency like the SPF or SCDF. SPF is under the Home Affairs Ministry, but CPIB is under the Prime Minister's office. So they went on with the investigation. Remember, that was just 2 days after Parliament debated about the Rigaro saga. And they didn't go fight Iswaran like this one. Instead, the formal investigation started on 11 July. And here's the thing. When CPIB investigated, they didn't just do it like how you take your TP when you shout. I checking side mirror now, I checking blind spot now, I checking lane now, just to show the tester that you are doing things. They do things quietly. So it turns out that on that day, they arrested both Iswaran and Ong Beng Seng. Now remember this, they do things quietly. So for all you know, they could have arrested Sobira, Michael Brasera, or even Cassandra. You won't know because CPIB isn't a typical influencer who does a day as a life of a 45-year-old CPIB officer. TikTok video apparently we know of Ong Beng Seng's arrest from his company instead. 3 days later on 14 July. Then of course people started to ask more and more questions. So CPIB told the media on 14 July that Iswaran was also arrested on the same day that Beng Seng was arrested. So you can see the pattern. CPIB is a friend who kept quiet and never seems like he studied one. And when you ask if he studies until 2 AM last night, he said he slept at 10 PM last night instead. And then suddenly exams come but he got 100 marks. Now this is actually what we know. So why some of us can think that we can even write a Wikipedia article about this saga. Simple. Cause CPIB is so quiet. People speculate like crazy based on what they know. You know, like ChatGPT anyhow come out with things. You see, it could be that Iswaran is arrested because he took the MRT as a transport minister. Conflict of interest. And Ong Beng Seng is arrested because he saw Iswaran outside Jurong East MRT station and passing a cup of Starbucks for free. Corruption. But here's the thing again. Cause Iswaran isn't just a transport minister. He's also the minister in charge of trade relations at the Ministry of Trade and Industry. People found out that the publicly known link between Iswaran and Ong Beng Seng is that Ong Beng Seng is the one who brings the F1 race into Singapore. And back then, Iswaran is the Minister of State in the Minister of Trade and Industry, which means junior minister only, not the full minister. The minister back then was Lim Hong Kiang, the Hong no one. But Iswaran was the one who announced the F1 race in Singapore, together with Ong Beng Seng, of course. Now Iswaran is still in charge of trade relations in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, but not a full minister there. So link here and there, and then suddenly F1 also suddenly come out and say F1 preparations for this year still ongoing. Now then you will start to wonder if the investigation is somehow related to F1 because instead it's like Sobira suddenly telling her boss that she's not taking MC next Friday. Wow, this one made things worse. So this is why people think F1 is somehow involved where it could be an innocent party there. Now Iswaran is being on leave, so he won't be in this year's NDP also. MPs Tan Chuan Jin, Chen Liho, Leon Pereira have all become NPCs instead. So this means NDP got 4 extra empty seats. Given the NDP seats are so well sought after, should they open up the 4 seats for the public? After all, Bodo cannot people like us cannot sit there Hey, why? Cause no one wants to see boomers who update about NDP on Facebook instead of streaming on TikTok. Now, whether this involves F1 or F4, we won't know. But at least you are now smarter after watching this, right? So consider subscribing. Also, if you don't feel smarter after this, maybe you were never smart to begin with, you idiot.